We started digitally storyboarding here a few years ago, and you know, with the introduction of the Cintiq tablet, that allowed us to start working digitally, both for cleanup, design, and then we transitioned into storyboarding. And we found it's been a big advantage for us because the inherently mechanical nature of doing storyboarding, the sheer volume of drawing, doing it digitally has allowed us to really focus in on the creative aspect and get away from a lot of the mechanical aspects of production.
Storyboarding digitally really helps my workflow because I traditionally had been just covered in paper and pencil grease and all this stuff, and now I'm just on this nice clean Cintiq, and it lets me rough and erase and add panels and move stuff around very easily. So it just enables me to move a lot faster and cleaner.
Don't you have somewhere to be?
Right now on Chowder we have about 4 full-time storyboard artists and a few other artists who come in and out of the rotation. Most who are working digitally, a few who are still not working digitally that we usually have to scan in their work and take it into the computer, but the people who've been making the transition seem to really like it. It's definitely, I think, helped from my end of it, because when I get everybody's storyboard, doing revisions is a lot easier. I can take panels, delete them, move them, resize them without having to go to the copier. I could mark them up on a separate layer and hand them off to a storyboard revisionist. We can mark a panel as revised. Those kind of things make the flow really easy, especially being on the revision end of it. We transitioned into Storyboard Pro because once we saw a demo of it, we found that it really did address a lot of the needs and concerns and wants that we were having that we weren't getting in some of the other digital software that we had tried before. A lot of it because Storyboard Pro felt the most like storyboarding directly from paper, so I think a lot of our artists could make the mental transition a lot easier. The tools, the layout, the timeline, it felt a lot like what we had been using before, and it had a lot of the sort of the bells and whistles that made it easy for us to turn out boards on a very quick timetable.
Woo! That is some strong mint.
We chose Storyboard Pro because Toon Boom's been so active in the animation community for so long that they really came out with a very focused product versus some of the other ones that we used in the past that could do storyboarding but didn't really focus on it. So we found that the ease of use, and it was a fairly easy transition for the artist to go to it. It was an analog to doing traditional storyboarding, and the learning curve wasn't very steep and very user-friendly.
The thing about Toon Boom is that it allows me to do exactly what I want, which is to simply, and you can use Toon Boom for a lot of different things, but for me, just to have my timeline and to be able to rough very quickly what I want to do. I can scribble dialogue right on the panel. I don't have to type it at the rough stage. And then when I go to clean up, I've got all the tools there so I can do really pretty drawings.
Boarding digitally, and especially in something like Toon Boom, we do save a lot of time. We find that, you know, before, when I was storyboarding, I would draw a panel and then realize that I wanted to frame it much wider, or, you know, go in a lot tighter than I had gone, and I'd be running back and forth to the copier or throwing down a new piece of paper and tracing over it. But with a program like this, it's really nice because you can just select it, blow it up, shrink it, and especially in something like Toon Boom where it's a vector image, it doesn't lose its resolution. You can blow it up as much as you want, and it's not going to get, you know, really cruddy looking. So I think it saves us, you know, time of just running back and forth to a copier. It gives you the flexibility to make changes really quickly. It saves you in revision time because you're not trying to pull things off with tape or put down, you know, liquid paper on top of everything. You can go in and erase really easily, throw down new panels really easily. You're not getting paper that's that thick with crud all over it. So I think the savings that we get is really in just almost a cleaner workflow, a little quicker workflow. You know, it's easy to drop it onto the server and give it to the next person. It's easy to to export it as a PDF and send it to the executives and have them take a look at it and send it back. So there's a definite savings in workflow.
I think from a managed point of view, the time savings that we're seeing is it's fairly significant. Here, the storyboard artists also write the show, so that takes up a lot of time. But reducing the amount of mechanical time drawing really allows them to focus on, plussing the drawings for the storyboard and concentrating on storytelling versus mechanical production. It's been a big asset for us.
Is probably one of the other real highlights of this program that we really, really like. It makes doing camera moves super easy. In past programs, doing camera moves was really kind of tricky and technical, and it felt like a real workaround. Whereas in Toon Boom, you literally put a box here, and say, go A to B, and at any point you can go back and resize the fielding, turn the fielding. You could watch it move in real time to see how it would play out. And when you export it, it exports with the camera move right there. So it just makes another factor that you don't really have to think about. You just kind of put in what you want and the program does it.
From the beginning, when we implemented Storyboard Pro, Toon Boom was very receptive and came out and worked very closely with our artists to answer any questions they have. So we received, a very high level of support that really helped the transition to, this new product and working digitally. And the artists adopted to it very quickly, and subsequent releases have addressed, many concerns and added features that we requested. So
far, the customer service with Toon Boom has really been pretty great to work with. When we first thought about using the program, they came out, they met with us. A couple of us had spent some time kind of messing around with the demo to see what we liked and what issues we might have, and they were really great in sort of listening to our feedback, addressing those issues, coming out with some updates that showed that they were listening to what we needed as professionals. And so I think we felt really comfortable that even working with them in the future, that level of commitment to the industry would be maintained.